Good evening, everyone on the TGSN Twitch. This is Rampant Gaming. As we do something different, something that it'll be a miracle if we make it through. If you couldn't tell, yes, this is, I guess, technically a D&D stream.
Not exactly, but it's.
I mean, it is at its core.
The closest point of reference for most people, most likely, in this situation.
Yes, the easiest way to describe it is it's a pen and paper RPG.
Yeah.
So, with that, I guess we will transition and get all of everything set up and going.
Welcome to the City of Legends made flesh. In this corrupt and haunted metropolis, anyone can become a living gateway to an ancient myth or legend. In the shadows of shiny skyscrapers and derelict residential blocks, ordinary folk wield supernatural powers bestowed by the stories that live inside them. But those same stories threaten to tear their lives apart. The mist, a mystical veil known only to a select few, prevents the unwitting city residents from ever acknowledging the miracles they witness daily. It hides the legendary and distorts it, making it look plain and mundane. And so, distracted by their everyday hopes and fears, the people on the streets remain oblivious to the clash of mythical forces that drive and control the very life of the city. You too were an ordinary person, until the seed of the legendary awoke within you. Now you are a rift between the worlds, seeking answers to questions about your powers. But the truth always seems to elude you. Awakened or not, you still want what every human being wants. Love, money, power, peace of mind. Together with your ragtag crew of gifted individuals, you work to reveal the powers operating in the dark, smoky alleys of the city, just as those very powers seek you out for what you are. You will hit the streets in search of the strange cases, loose ends, and unsolved mysteries that will lead you to the truth, inevitably clashing with other legends in mortal form, the modern-day incarnations of stories from beyond the mist. Be warned, the truth is as dangerous as the forces that hide it. Only when you find yourself sacrificing that which is dearest to you will you truly learn the answer to the ultimate question: who am I? But will it be worth it? So, guys, welcome to Neo Vice City. It's a gloomy city most days. It's not your happy place. It's not most people's happy place. But it's a city that never sleeps, and it's where everybody goes to make a living. So, it's another it's another city that will either drain the life from you, or it will be your saving grace. So, what is a role-playing game? A role-playing game is a storytelling game in which each player takes the role of a character in an imaginary world, and it relies a lot on your imagination and common sense, but it also has some rules. When you play this game, you and your group create a story together. This will be similar to a TV show or a comic book. You create it by describing characters and what they do during each scene of the story. Most of the participants in the game are known as players. Each player focuses on portraying his character, describing his character and her actions in the scene, and sometimes her life and background. One participant takes the role of the MC, the Master of Ceremonies, yours truly, and the MC serves as the host of the game as well as the narrator. I set the scene and choose the challenges the characters will face, much like a TV director or a showrunner. However, I do not take control of your characters, nor the outcome of their actions. So, I never know how things will unfold in each scene. That part's up to you. This is a little bit a part of the fun. I can present a scene and ask, "What do you do?" And you respond by describing your character's actions. I continue by reacting to those actions by presenting new challenges or dangers or so forth. The result is a story that you will play through and enjoy as an audience, a story with an unknown end. To make things interesting, this storytelling conversation has rules. The rules define what player characters can or cannot do, and they add an element of chance by asking you to roll dice to determine the outcome of your actions. So, let's begin. We start our first scene of our first case, Shark Tank. During this scene, during this case, I will describe a scene and then ask you, what do you do? Before you answer, you can always ask me for more information. Normally about the scene, where you are, things like that. What your character sees, hears, or otherwise senses is normally important in the scene. So, on your turn, I will give you the spotlight. When you have the spotlight, you can say what your character says and does. You can then take significant actions as your character and influence the story. You don't need to know any of the rules at this point. When the rules trigger for the first time, I will refer you to your booklet to learn about other aspects of the game. So, let's start. It's another overcast and somber afternoon in the city. Traffic is nervously crawling through the rain at rush hour. Angry drivers honking at the lights while thunder rolls overhead. Somewhere in a residential neighborhood, the camera zooms in on a shabby apartment building. Moving up creaky stairs and down a corridor ending in a milky glass door, the glass is inscribed with a pyramid and an eye. Above, the label, All-Seeing Eye Investigations. This is your office, a cramped, dilapidated space that doubles as a bedroom when one of you needs a place to crash. The tiny kitchen is dirty. The floor shudders when the subway passes on the nearby rail. And at night, the room is colored red by the crackling neon sign on the side of the building. This office is where you hold meetings with your barely existent clientele and where you keep most of your stuff. But while you'd like to call it charming, in truth, you can only call it cheap. Since you've met, you've been searching for answers to your own personal questions as well as to the grand mystery. What the hell is going on in Neo Vice City? You know there are others like you out there, people with legendary powers, and you know some of them are up to no good. You also know there's something covering up their tracks to make people forget. This is why you started this crew, to reach out to those few who have witnessed strange incidents, investigate them, and search for the truth. So now I would like to take the time to allow everyone to describe their character. So if you may, pull up your character sheet, and if you want to, you can read the character sheet aloud and tell everyone who your character is, or you can describe it in your own words. We will start with Rampant Epsilon as Job.
Okay. I think I'm gonna read mine out because I kind of like the way he is, and I don't feel like I want to change too much necessarily. So, you think you have it all figured out, huh, kid? You're young, on top of the world, nothing can hurt you, right? Listen, son, I know a thing or two about feeling invincible, and I know it's all a show. We both know you're hiding pain. Why don't you just get off that high horse and tell me what it is you've lost? You see, I used to have everything once. Then I got hit so hard that I never thought I'd be able to get back on my feet. I've lost. Never mind. The point is, somehow I got up. Somehow I always get up, no matter what they do to me. The trick is, you don't let the pain tell you what to do. So what do you say? Think you can try that for me?
Interesting. Very interesting. And who might your partner be? Peace?
I'm playing Detective Vinkidu, a hardboiled detective that is moonlighting at All Seeing Eye because the cops aren't just aren't doing their job, and somebody's got to help the city out. So I'm here, pulling double duty and trying to not get caught doing it because it might lose my job. But somebody's got to do the work.
And how is your relationship with one another? Are you close friends? Difficult work colleagues? How are things between the two of you?
Shit. I don't. Damn it. On the spot and stumbling already. Hell
Yep.
yes.
I half expected that to happen too.
Keep in mind, this game is very much about using your imagination and coordinating certain ideas across the board, whether you want your characters to dislike each other, like each other, whether you want them to be steadfast friends or very, very, very light accomplices who could turn on each other at a moment's notice. It's up to you. This story is yours to tell.
How about we just go with colleagues who maybe have not worked together that much, but maybe worked with other people in the office? We haven't crossed paths too much, so.
I kind of like that, actually.
Okay. Well, the two of you are sitting in your quaint office, enjoying the peaceful downtime between when Enkidu has to work for the police force and when Job decides to do whatever it is Job does. Sorry. However, breaking the silence, the doorbell buzzes with two short, abrupt rings. The two of you look at the milky glass door, but there's no silhouette behind it. What do you do?
I'm gonna get up and check. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I would just kind of sit back and wait, kind of deal. Like it's one of those I don't really have an interest in it, but I do kind of deal.
I'm gonna get up and check the door. See who's knocking.
You open the door, but you see nothing. You look down and you see a piece of paper just finally hitting the ground from floating down, where cutout letters are arranged to form a message. Please help us. We are in danger. Sharks in Miller Square. A cutout picture of a shark is glued under the lettering. Miller Square is your home, the neighborhood where you live and operate. Consequently, you know it's completely landlocked.
That's not good. Especially if someone's putting this much work into their help needed post. Oh dear.
I think it's just a case of someone trying to pull a prank.
Well, it's a case, and I have nothing better to do. How about we go check it out?
Sure.
Well, do you have any questions for me before we get started anywhere else? Whether it's information about a certain area that you would like to know about, or things like that. Investigation and clues help you along the way with the story and tell you exactly where you need to go.
Would I know if there's anything going on with anyone maybe shark themed currently in maybe on the desk at the moment? At the police force, mind you?
Well, you know that you work in Miller Square Precinct 23. You're aware that Miller Square is a crime-ridden neighborhood with a tiny policing budget. Its denizens are often preyed upon by mobsters, but that's about all you know.
Okay. So metaphorical for now? I can't think of anything
Don't
super
forget.
haunting.
Don't forget, you can roll for investigation. But there are two of you, so you might have different information because you are different people with different lives. Is there anything Job would like to think about?
I feel like it would be one of those I would be more trying to think of if I've overheard anything like on the streets or anything like that. Even as like a offshoot conversation passing by.
Well, listening to the note, you do recall serving as a priest in Miller Square and having your own ties in the community, especially through your friend Sam Saddle, the owner of the one-stop shop corner shop. For the past few days, neither Sam nor his wife Linda have been answering their phones, so that might be a dead end. Or is it? Again, don't forget, you can roll for investigation. Both of you can.
I was about to say, investigation would be like one of our core moves, right?
Yes.
Oh, just investigate. Right. Trying to think what to roll with, what to roll to look for.
Yeah, that's kind of me too.
Nothing's coming to mind because I feel like need more, so hit the street and sniff about.
But do you know where to go at the moment? That's the question.
I guess give the paper maybe a once over, see if anything stands out on it. Since we're dealing with, I assume like cutout letters mean like letters from different stuff glued onto a piece of paper.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to need to have you make a roll on investigation.
Okay.
Would you like to use any tags? Keep in mind, when you burn a tag, it's done until you can rest.
Can I use the tag and not burn it? Or when I use the tag, do I burn it?
You burn it
outright?
whenever you use it.
Okay. Seems like the time to use it. I guess I'll use a search for evidence when I do my investigate roll.
Okay, go ahead.
That's not good.
Whew. Well, looking through the note, you remember that it might be time to go back to the precinct because you have been gone a few days, and maybe your job is more important than this investigation that seems to be going nowhere in your head.
I need coffee. Do we have a coffee machine? I need coffee. I think I have to tag out to you, Tommy. I think you gotta pull this one out.
Yeah. Okay. I am having a question here.
Okay.
Where's the list of tags?
The tags are in your character sheet. If you go to the journal, go to your player character, and then look at the character sheet. The tags are on the different, like yours will say all seeing eye investigations. You have power tags there, power tags in crash and burn, power tags in man on a mission, father figure, devil take
Okay,
it all.
so it's on those. Okay, I got you now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was what I was trying to figure out there.
No problem. Also, Peace, did you go ahead and signal that your tag was burnt on your character sheet?
Yeah, I assume that's the little flame icon next to it.
Yes.
Yeah, just highlight that and it takes out the checkbox.
Once the two of you get a moment to rest, depending on the situation, I'll allow it, and that will bring back your tags.
Okay.
Okay. Then yeah, I think I'm gonna investigate for the same kind of concept, kind of be one of those once over, see if anything stands out as maybe a defining idea of where to point. I think I'm gonna burn the private investigator license tag there too.
Okay. Go ahead and burn it when you +1 power from your private investigator. So you nailed it.
Oh.
Good job on that one.
Yeah, you gotta do the check mark to get the power on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the flame icon next to it is to burn it.
Okay.
So you made a pretty solid idea of where the note came from. You're looking at it and you realize that there are what look to be fingerprints on the note. You can see the size of them and they look like they're from a child. Would you like to take a look in the hall outside the door? Would you like to look at the note further? What would you like to do?
I think at this point, since it looks like it could have been a child that left it, I would take another look to see if maybe they might have tried to peek their head back around a corner or something to see if we actually got the note.
When you peek your head out of the door, don't forget to move your tokens as well whenever you do actions so that the people watching can know where you are.
Okay.
So when you peek your head out of the door, you see movement. What do you do? It looked like whatever it was quickly retracted when it saw you coming towards the door.
I feel like I would probably advance towards the corner to see if I could actually find out who it is that left that.
As you approach the corner, you spot a child, maybe 10 years old, fleeing, trying to get away quickly. Do you progress alone? Do you holler? Or do you shout for Enkidu to follow? What do you do?
At this point, I would turn around and shout for Enkidu to follow with, just in case the kid tries to pull a fast one.
So you choose to chase the child?
After getting Enkidu.
Okay.
Do you still have the note?
I would assume at that point, because I don't think I would have had the chance to have set it down.
Okay, so then I'll just follow after you. I was gonna say if it was still in the office, I was going to grab it and then go with you. But in that case, I'm just going with you.
So the two of you follow the child. Do me a favor and roll for... What kind of rolls do y'all have available?
Just the core 8.
Yeah.
Do me a favor and roll for... Oh, I guess we could roll for change the game. Job, since that seems to be following the child closely.
Okay.
You can choose to burn a tag or... Okay.
I don't think I will on that one. That's what I was sitting there thinking beforehand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you attempt to catch the child, but the child is a bit too fast. So, do you continue to follow him and hopefully he will slow down to where you can find out where he goes, or what do you do?
I'd say we just tail the kid for now. Even if we don't catch up to him, he'll at least give us a direction at this point.
And possibly even lead us back to whoever sent the note to begin with.
Okay. One moment, guys. Internet's being a bit slow for me. I'm waiting on the screen to load. There we go. Okay. So, the two of you tail the child and watch as he goes through alleys and back ways, trying to make sure no one is following him, but being young, very clearly not good at his job when it comes to said job. So you follow him quietly, being able to keep from being noticed, and come up to him entering the local pizza store or pizza restaurant, Laser Hot Pizza. So, one second. Having to scroll through everything makes it a bit harder.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The only hopping place in the neighborhood, Laser Hot Pizza.
Uh-oh.
Oh, good. That wasn't me.
I was about to say, that was not you. I think we have lost clock. Oh no. Oh no, we are truly blind.
I was thinking, uh-oh, did mine just super break? And then when you said that, I'm like, oh, thank God, it wasn't me.
Oh no, we have lost clock. He has disappeared.
Welp. Welp. I have a contingency for that. Okay, thanks, Internet. That was really fun time to buffer.
I will say, if the dice rolls are going to be like this for us the entire night, oh no.
Yeah, because I mean that's a swing and a miss.
Two for 3 on misses. I'm just like, oh shit.
Yeah, we're just
Especially with me being like, weird strange notes should be my job. Nope, I don't know anything. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Okay, I apologize, guys.
The void has swallowed you. We are used to this.
Okay, so where did it kick me out at?
I believe you were just about to list off the pizza's like phrase or something. Its motto.
Yeah. The only hopping place in the neighborhood, Laser Hot Pizza, constantly attracts many of the locals with steaming scents of mozzarella and fresh tomato sauce. Running around from kitchen to counter and back is a young curly-haired man in a bright red apron. A young kid in a similar apron is proudly operating the register and shouting orders over the speaker. Remember, you watched as the child ran into this building.
Does this place have a back door?
Go ahead and roll an investigation for that.
That's better than the last one. I'll take that one.
You believe there are buildings built similar to this one that may have a back door, but you're not sure.
I'm gonna let Job go in front, and I'll quietly look around back to see if someone comes out a back door. If our kid comes out the back door.
Especially seeing as how it's looking like there is only one way in and out the front anyhow.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good idea. With me progressing inside.
I would assume I would need to move here-ish.
I would assume since we just came up the other side.
Yeah.
Okay, so Joe, as you enter the restaurant, you spot the curly-haired boy at the register. The child you do not seem to see.
I feel like at that point I would walk up to ask and see if he might have seen the child enter.
Okay. Just for future reference, to make the actions a bit smoother and the conversation flow a bit better, try to talk in character. Instead of stating, I feel like he might do this, state, I think about doing this, or I begin to move this way, or try to state affirmative actions. That way I can react accordingly and tell you how the story unfolds.
Okay.
So, can you repeat what your character is doing?
At this point, I would approach the curly-haired guy that you said was at the register to ask if he had seen the child enter.
When you attempt to speak to the person, he opens up with the basic, "Hello, welcome to Laser Hot Pizza. How may I take your order?" When you speak, what do you say?
I'm not really interested in a pizza, but what I am more interested in is, have you seen a small child come through here?
You notice something odd about him as you speak to him, and I'm going to make a note for the two of you as players rather than characters. He has the Influenced 3 tag attached to him. So, you ask him, and he replies, "I'm sorry, this is a pizza restaurant, and I try to make sure to follow every city regulation revolving around child labor or having children in the back. No one is allowed back there."
At this point, I'm going to cut him off and be like, well, look, I'm not a child. I'm looking for a child. Have you seen a kid come in here?
Sir, there's no need for the frustration and anger. I'm willing to talk to you as a person to another person. I just sell pizza. I just had a customer come in and order pizza. That's all I've seen.
Trying to think how I want to go with that.
Keep in mind, you do have actions that you can do, but also keep in mind that misses in those actions can lead to consequences. So, investigation, trying to pull a fast one over people, trying to sneak. You can do plenty of things. Just try to think quickly in what you want your actions to be. Not so much quickly, but try to be let's try to keep the game flowing. That way we don't, as players, keep the game going for hours and hours on end.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm going to put on the shuffle for background music. So.
I almost don't want to push hard on him right yet, but I do feel like I want to kind of push more the fact of just being like, so you can't tell me there's not been a kid come in here recently? Just be one of those pushing but not really, more passive aggressive kind of deal.
Well, not anyone recently. I mean, obviously you're not talking about my brother. He's been here all day.
Ah, your brother. So at this point I'd like to push and investigate, because I'd like to kind of go into finding out a little bit more about this brother of his. More so, I don't want to get as specific as like specific age kind of deal, but more like younger brother, older brother kind of concept.
I will need you to roll for investigation. Okay. So you ask him, as a person to, as a man to another man, if his brother is younger or older, right? No specifics?
Right.
Okay. He says, I am the older brother. I take care of the shop, and as you know, family, since this is family owned, I'm allowed to have my brother help. So if you're with the, if you're with the health department, I'm following every regulation involved in family owned businesses. He only works as a volunteer, and that's through his choice. I don't require him to do anything. I don't pay him for it. It's not anything bad.
Okay. Good news for you. I'm not with the health department. I'm more looking at potentially your younger brother might have left us a note saying about some sharks deciding to antagonize this area, and I was kind of looking into that.
At this point, he gets a bit uncomfortable and looks at you with a bit less interest and a bit more fear, and says, I'm sorry, but I think it's time for you to go.
At this point, I'm gonna hold my ground and be like, no, you've got to throw me out. I'm coming to find an answer, and I'm not leaving until I find it.
At this time, we're going to pause and circle back to Enkidu to see what she has done in the time that Job has made this conversation with Michael. Peace?
Yeah, I'm here. I was waiting on you to continue from there.
Yeah, we're asking where Enkidu is, what she's doing.
Oh, I guess I'm wherever the back door of this place is, looking, kind of staking it out, seeing if somebody's going to come out of it, whether it's our kid or not.
So, are you attempting to sneak in the back, or what are your specific actions?
I wasn't going to sneak in the back. I was just going to keep an eye on the back door. If no one comes soon enough, I'll probably just go back in the front.
Okay. So you walk into the alley, I'm assuming, and you spot what looks to be a back door to possibly a storage room where the pizzas are made. And you see that the door has been recently messed with.
Like broken into, messed with, or...
While most of the alley seems dirty and dusty, the door isn't quite as dusty. It seems a little bit more used.
Okay, that... Go see if the door's open.
Roll for sneaking around.
Okay.
Okay. You opened the door, but as you opened the door, it made a kind of a loud squeaking noise. We're going to circle back to Job and Michael. As the conversation got heated, Michael heard a loud squeaking. He begins to look around and think about what his actions will be.
I was fixing to make a comment on that too. Is what's bad.
So what does Job do as he sees Michael begin to become more frantic and trying to investigate what the noise might have been?
Since I'm noticing that he's acting a little frantically, this is kind of pushing me towards thinking he's hiding a little more information since he's not really been forthcoming so far. And with that, I'm gonna be like, is there a problem? I see you're kind of acting fidgety. Is it something you need to take care of? Because I'm mainly wanting to kind of bait him into walking away so I can get a chance to see if I can find his brother.
Look, I don't need whatever help or whatever it is you're offering. I've done fine on my own. I have my own help, and he is a godsend. So I don't need whatever it is you're peddling. You can get out of my restaurant now. And he turns to start to walk towards the noise. Now keep in mind, you two are trying to work together. I'm gonna pause and give y'all a little bit of help here. You are trying to work together. If one of you gets in a sticky situation, it might be up to the other to have to bail you out, which can become more difficult depending on the situation. So you have to try to adapt and overcome different situations and scenarios that might put you at risk.
I almost feel like at this point, I know he's on edge with me. Rather than trying to sneak and hide the fact that I'm going back there, I've got a good idea that it's Enkidu back there coming in, so I'm probably just gonna blatantly go in. And just blatantly try to go and find his brother, because best case scenario, I find his brother, get the information, and get out. Worst case scenario, I'm already getting thrown out, so oh well.
Yeah, and I'm gonna maybe try to keep him at the back door.
Well,
Since he's coming towards me.
Well, as Michael goes to investigate, and Job follows closely behind him, and Keto, you spot what looks to be a child trying to run for the back door to hide.
Is he just hiding in the back room?
Yes. Do you choose to confront him or try to get him away from prying eyes that might change what he might say? What are your actions?
Try to approach the kid. Try to, like, maybe knock on something next to him and be polite. Just be like, hey, you rang for someone?
Okay. Do you try to hide from anyone who might be investigating as well?
Not at the moment.
Are you sure?
I besides the brother, not really at the moment, but I think be fine. See what happens.
Okay. Well, the child looks at you a bit frantically. He knows who you are, and he